Fistula fatigue. Everyone keeps asking me why I don't get my perianal fistula fixed, and the answer is because I have fistula fatigue. Welcome to Shit Talk, where we get down to the real shit that comes with life with chronic illness and IBD. I'm your host, Mariam Khan, aka the Chronically Illfluencer. Now let's get ready to talk shit. Today's episode is a little different and a lot shorter. I wanted to discuss a problem that I think a lot of people have with perianal Crohn's disease. And if you've ever had a perianal fistula, you know exactly how I'm feeling. I'm tired. I point blank do not want to have surgery anymore. I have had surgery well over 30 times in 3 years, from 2021 to 2024, before I ever got diagnosed with perianal Crohn's disease. I had 2 more exam under anesthesias and a little experimental procedure, and while that did close off one of my fistulas, I still have one left, and honestly, I'm just tired. I don't want to get another surgery that I don't know if it's going to work. Fistulotomies, I've been there, done that. They're super painful. They're months, if not almost like a year of wound care to heal from. I don't know how I'm going to feel after. And then there goes my life. You know, whenever you do that, you have a wound care nurse and you just become stuck in this. And another issue is just that I'm tired. My body is tired. It needs so much time to recover from having more surgery than anyone ever would in their entire lifetime. And honestly, I'm at the point where, yes, meds haven't really worked out well for me, and I'm still trialing other medications because I just seem to be reacting to everything I try. I have tried Skyrizi, I've tried Rinvoq, I've tried Remicade, which gave me drug-induced lupus, and I'm set to start Tremfya soon, but I don't know how I'm going to feel about that. And I think I speak for a lot of people when I say that surgery is something that is so incredibly difficult, something that takes a real toll out of your body. People think, oh, just go in for the surgery, you're going to heal in a few weeks and you'll be fine. But that's not what happens. We take for granted our body's ability to heal, and not everybody's bodies heal the same way. I have had surgery for my chronic kidney disease since I was 5 years old, and every surgery I healed from, I thought that surgery was one of those things where you went in and you came out better than you were before, and that's it. And nothing bad is going to happen to you. Until I got my perianal Crohn's disease, and it was just hit after hit after hit, and I never got better. I kept thinking, okay, well, it's better to just go through surgery than be needlessly in pain. At least after surgery, you get out and you're in pain because you're recovering. But at some point, that stopped being true for me. I kept having surgery, and it didn't stop being painful before or after. And then I started thinking, well, if I'm going to keep going through so much pain regardless, isn't it better to just let myself at least live my life a little before confining myself to operating room after operating room, month after month, week after week? This is a reality that a lot of people with perianal fistulas unfortunately have to face because we are tired. We've tried so many treatments. It's not that we're not trying. And I don't want to be seen as giving up, but there's something that comes with having all this surgery and not seeing a positive result. Sometimes you just need a break. And this is why I'm saying that I have fistula fatigue, because I'm over it. I wish that one day I could wake up and just be healed. And that probably won't happen. You know, as somebody who has an autoimmune disease, I highly doubt that that will just happen one day. At the same time, trying all these medications, having all this surgery, it has taken a really big mental toll on me. So I think there's a point in time where you need to step back sometimes and just live your life, even if you didn't see your body being the way that it is. You know, I never imagined that I'd be living my life and every single day I am bleeding from a fistula where my anus used to be. Which is also a crazy thing to say, right? I've done so much to try and fix this fistula, including having my anus removed, getting a gracilis muscle graft that they took from my left leg. So much of my soul, my body has suffered to fix this one fistula. And it hasn't been fixed. I still have it. And so now I'm at the point where I think, isn't it better to live a life, even if I am bleeding every single day and I have drainage and it fills up and I get an abscess and it drains, and at least I'm at the point now after some of the procedures I've had where it's semi-manageable. And don't get me wrong, I am exhausted every day. My body is still suffering and I'm anemic and I have to make sure that I don't get low on iron every few months. It's rough, but at the same time, I've lived a way more rich life in the past 2 years not having surgery than I have in those 3 years where I just kept going to doctor's office after doctor's office, operating room after operating room. A lot of people think it's weird that I want to live my life like this, and I've had people ask me, what are you doing? What's your next plan for treatment? And before, I used to be a little embarrassed and just say, oh, we're still figuring it out. I have to try these meds. And now I just tell everyone, I don't know. I don't know, and I'm tired. And it's not giving up. I used to think it was giving up. It's not giving up. It's allowing your body the chance to heal from the trauma that it's faced, from the pain that it's gone through. I will never negatively speak about modern medicine because it has saved my life so many times. But at the same time, I don't think it's okay to just keep going over and over again in the operating room without even believing that I will heal. And that's something one of my surgeons said to me. They said, your best chance at healing is another fistulotomy. However, we don't want to put you through this because I can see on your face how exhausted and how traumatized you are. And you are going to need a lot of time to work through everything that happened to you from before up until your diagnosis and even after. And he said, even if you told me right now that you wanted to be operated on, I wouldn't allow that because I need you to heal. I need you to recover mentally. Before you go in that room, I need you to actually believe in the fact that you're going to heal. Because if you don't believe that you're going to heal, that this is better for you, then you're not going to. Hearing that made me so emotional. I cried in his office, and he was right. And at first I told myself, you get a year. You get 1 year, and then you're going to go in that operating room. And then a year passed, and I didn't go in that operating room. And I haven't been in an operating room since. And that's crazy for me to say. I mean, I had an endoscopy, but I don't really know if that counts. But when it comes to my fistula, I haven't been in an operating room since 2025. And even though life with a fistula sucks, man, it would be a lie to say that I didn't feel relief letting myself just let go and letting myself just feel life again and feel like my knees and my mind and let it catch up to everything I went through, because Lord knows I'm still processing it all. Who can sit there and process 30 surgeries and 3 times when they almost died? Who can process 3 years of that in 1 year? 3 years of trauma, there's no way I could get through any of that in a single year. And the more distance I got from it, the more I realized I really, really want to live my life. And before that, I didn't want to. Before that, I just thought, I will not be allowed to live a life until this fistula is gone. But that's not true. And I have a life. I had a life then too, but I didn't realize it because I was so caught up in trying to fix something, thinking there was something so wrong with me, something so unlovable, something so difficult no one would understand. And then I met people who understand. I have been surrounded by friendships, relationships, family, people in my life who do understand and who don't make me feel bad about just wanting to live. And I have told myself that the next time that I go for treatment, the next time that I go to get this fistula fixed, it will be for me. It won't be to make somebody else feel more comfortable. It won't be because everybody else wants to see my body just recover, and that's great, but I want that. I want to be able to go in and go in positively and go in hopeful. And until I can go into an operating room feeling hope, feeling like there's a great future ahead of that, and not feeling just only fear, only consumed by fear, until I can go in there and say with everything in me, this is going to be a positive change for me, I'm not going in there. And no one's going to change my mind. And this is the first time that I think I've actually stood up for myself that way. And, I am just really proud of how far I've come. And so the next time you see somebody with a perianal fistula and you wonder why they're not getting treatment, they're exhausted like me. And life, yes, is really hard with the fistula. But man, it's way harder to go through surgery and go through everything that we go through. So don't judge anyone for how they handle their disease, how they handle their diagnosis. We all have our own time and we all have our own solutions. So that's where I'm going to leave off. Shorter episode, but I think it was very, very necessary. Thank you all so much for coming to today's episode of Shit Talk. And I'm going to continue doing some smaller solo episodes just to make sure that anyone out there who feels similar to I do is heard. I can't wait to come back and talk shit with you guys again. Bye.